Taiwan's premier slams China for putting economic pressure on the country.
显见政治目的大于经济目的，实属经济胁迫。
Getting steamy, how Taiwan is harnessing the hot energy brewing under its surface.
Record low temperatures sweep across northern Asia as meteorologists try and figure out why. Plus,
people in Taiwan are lining up for a special treat to celebrate the winter solstice.
good evening and welcome to TaiwanPlus News. I'm Liao with 30 minutes of the latest. Thank you for joining us. Leading off with our top story, politicizing trade. That's what Taiwan is accusing China of after the government there reinstated tariffs on certain goods.
显见政治目的大于经济目的，实属经济胁迫。
Taiwanese officials say Beijing is putting economic pressure on Taiwan to influence the country's January elections. China last week announced the results of an investigation into Taiwanese restrictions on Chinese imports, calling the curbs trade barriers. Beijing's latest tariffs are retaliation for Taiwan's trade policy. These moves follow an investigation China launched in late October into Taiwanese tech giant Foxconn. The company's founder is Terry Guo, who was then running for president as an independent. To find out more about the implications of China's economic and political moves against Taiwan in recent months, Sally Jensen spoke to Chen Fangyu, an assistant professor of political science at Soochow University.
China's decided to suspend its tariff reductions on some imports from Taiwan. What impact will this have on Taiwan ahead of elections?
We only see they remove the tariff cap for about 12 items, which is much fewer than expected. And China not only used this kind of approach to Taiwan, but also for many other countries. So our government has already prepared for that. However, I think the main goal of China is to make this as one of the propaganda approach to make establish an atmosphere that Taiwan is depending on China, or we should echo what China wants us to say. So that is their main goal. So they want to establish such an image of on Taiwan's voters. However, I still think that it will be a limited effect because China's economy is in very bad condition right now. So their influence is much lower than several years ago.
So you mentioned economic coercion, which is what Taiwan's premier just called Beijing's move. Do you think this is part of wider efforts to pressure Taiwan and influence the vote?
Indeed. China is using several different approaches to influence Taiwan's elections. That is, they want to make sure that the outcome is in favor of Beijing. So firstly, they use a lot of military coercions that we see a lot of fighter jets and warships sailing around Taiwan, and it's becoming more and more frequent. And also we see a lot of economic coercions in recent years. So they will ban some of the Taiwanese products, especially the agricultural products.
Do you think we'll be seeing more of these kinds of economic or political moves by Beijing, not just before, but after the election as well?
That is for sure. Even if the election elected one pro-China politicians to become our new president, even if such a case scenario, we will see China pushing for more pressure, because if there's a pro-China leaders in Taiwan, then for Xi Jinping, his pressure will become larger, because under such a circumstances, if Xi Jinping cannot push for unification, then he will be blamed of a failure of the Taiwan policies.
That was Sally Jensen talking to Chen Fangyu, assistant professor at Soochow University. Taiwan's top research institute has cut its forecast for the country's economic growth for the year. Academia Sinica expects 2023 GDP growth to reach 1.34%. That's down 0.22 percentage points from its prediction in July. The institute says sluggish global demand prompted the revision, but it's more upbeat about next year. It predicts 2024 growth will hit 3.02% as exports, investment, and consumption recover. Hoping to reach net zero emissions, countries around the world are harnessing new forms of energy, and Taiwan is looking to tap the power right under its feet. Sally Jensen has more.
Visitors take in the sights and smells of fumaroles in the mountains of northern Taiwan. But the volcanic steam emanating from the ground isn't just interesting to look at, it's a clue to a deep source of power.
In Taiwan, we have full of hot springs, and we have quite a lot of volcano and submarine volcano. That makes us geothermal is a promising energy that we can utilize in the near future.
And this is already happening in the Yangmingshan range. The steamy volcanic activity here has given birth to a number of hot springs, and its proximity to downtown Taipei has made it a popular tourist attraction. And now Taiwan is harnessing this hot energy bubbling under the Earth's surface as part of its move away from fossil fuels towards renewables. Unveiled in October, Taiwan's first volcano-powered geothermal plant uses the energy from here, generating enough electricity to power 1,500 homes. The country's current energy mix relies heavily on planet-heating fossil fuels, mainly coal and gas. The government is trying to move away from these and toward renewables to reach net zero carbon emissions by 2050. Geothermal is a renewable form of energy. The power plants burn no fuel to generate electricity and emit far less carbon dioxide than similar-sized fossil fuel plants. But like in South Korea and Japan, geothermal right now only makes up a fraction of Taiwan's electricity generation.
These countries also have a lot of clean geothermal energy potential that they've yet to develop. And so this could be a really exciting new area. There's been a lot of global interest in geothermal energy as a particularly exciting new source of clean power.
Some are concerned that using geothermal may cause earthquakes, particularly in Taiwan, which is already vulnerable to tremors. There's also the risk it could release heat pollution and corrode transmission pipelines or other infrastructure. But experts say technologies like earthquake monitoring and injecting waste fluid back into geothermal systems can reduce these problems.
When the commercial power plant utilize this technology, it makes a geothermal power plant become net zero power plant.
Taiwan, like other countries all over the world, is looking for ways to fulfill its energy needs while reducing emissions. And as it looks to the future, it may find the solution it's looking for is right beneath its feet. Justin Wu, Joseph Wu, and Sally Jensen for TaiwanPlus.
3 submarine crew members have been washed overboard and are still missing. They were among 6 people hit by a rogue wave while loading equipment in waters off Kaohsiung in southern Taiwan. The other 3 have already been rescued. Navy Command has formed an emergency response team to find the last missing sailors. Record low temperatures are sweeping across northern Asia. Meteorologists are trying to figure out why. Snowstorms in China and sub-zero temperatures in South Korea. Cold fronts are sweeping through northern Asia, bringing record low temperatures. Though no stranger to cold winters, people in Shanghai say the frigid weather is more than what they're used to. Shanghai has not recorded this kind of weather in 4 decades. South Korea's capital, Seoul, has seen the mercury swing between 16 degrees Celsius and well below freezing in recent weeks. Conditions are so unpredictable that they're breaking traditional forecasting models.
우리가 분석하고 있는 통계적 분석으로는 더 이상은 이런 것들을 추세를 잡아내기 어렵다고 보고 더욱 면밀하게 수치 모델을 활용하고 현재 관측값을 활용을 하면서 좀 더 면밀하게 이러한 부분들을 검토 중에 있습니다.
One explanation for the cold weather is a weakened polar vortex, which is allowing cold air to reach this part of the world. Typically, a polar vortex is an area of low pressure that spins counterclockwise above the Earth's 2 poles. When it's strong, it keeps cold air trapped and conditions are warmer elsewhere. But when it's weak, cold air can seep out and hit continents. However, this explanation doesn't seem to have everyone convinced. Some think the recent cold snap could indicate a longer-term trend.
단기적으로 우리나라의 찬 공기 그리고 따뜻한 공기로 계속해서 변하는 기온 변화를 이러한 극소용돌이로 대표적으로 얘기하기는 어렵고 기후적 요소인 만큼 장기적인 분석이 필요합니다.
And the icy conditions may be a result of man-made climate change.
But there's so much instability in the atmosphere that you also see cold snaps, where you get extreme cold temperatures, where polar temperatures migrate down in towards the mid-latitudes.
Here in Taiwan, temperatures have also dipped, bringing snowfall at higher altitudes. It's a rare sight in the country, and people are heading up into the mountains for a rare glimpse of snow. Chilly conditions in December are nothing new in this part of the world, but it's hard to go about your day when things are this cold. Whether vortex or climate change, it's important to bundle up and stay warm to enjoy the end of the year safely. Winter solstice is here, and Taiwanese people are flocking to buy a special seasonal treat. Tiffany Wong reports.
People in Taipei are braving the chill for a special warm treat. Called tangyuan, these glutinous rice balls are said to bring good luck in the new year when eaten on the winter solstice, a holiday in Taiwan known as 冬至。
那就是因为以前的人啊，就是都会去外面工作，然后都是要冬至这一天才回来，大家一起团圆，大家会一起包汤圆啊，然后就是有点寓意那个团圆的意味这样子。
The round dessert is made with a slightly sweet rice dough and can be stuffed with all sorts of ingredients, from sweeter flavors like peanut and taro to salty minced pork. But there was an undeniable favorite among the people here.
我最喜欢那个芝麻。
Sesame? Yeah, the black sesame? Yeah.
And while some people are picking up frozen tangyuan to take back home to share with their families, true to tradition, there are those who couldn't wait to warm up with the hot bowl of the dessert, wanting to manifest good luck in the year ahead with every bite. Justin Wu and Tiffany Wong in Taipei for TaiwanPlus.
Coming up, meet Cambodia's female tuk-tuk drivers who are breaking the mold.
Formosa is the old name of Taiwan. Coming from Portuguese, it means the beautiful one. This island is really beautiful island. It has very friendly, welcoming people.
An important part of our mission is to serve as cultural ambassadors. In that role, just as we welcome Taiwan tonight,
From Formosa, coming Sunday, December 31st, 9 p.m. on TaiwanPlus.
In the face of adversity, the power of truth.
A roadmap for a just and open world, charted by the freest country in Asia.
Taipei for TaiwanPlus.
TaiwanPlus News, a voice of freedom in Asia.
Welcome back. You're watching TaiwanPlus News. Thailand has taken one step closer to marriage equality as the lower house of parliament overwhelmingly passed draft bills supporting same-sex unions. The full legislature needs to approve the 4 bills before the king gives his consent and they can become law. But one of them is expected to succeed. That would make Thailand the 3rd country in Asia to legalize same-sex marriage behind Taiwan and Nepal. Thailand has a large and visible LGBTQ+ community, and activists have praised the draft bills. But some pro-democracy groups say the ruling Pheu Thai party is using the legislation to distract from the public's calls to rewrite the constitution. For more on rights for LGBTQ+ people across Asia, our reporter Reese Ayers spoke with Jennifer Liu, director of Outright International, an advocacy group for LGBTQ+ people around the world.
Thailand could be close to legalizing same-sex marriage. Is this a sign that the tide is turning for LGBTQ plus people across Asia?
I think it is truly a positive sign. A lot of government in Asia are still arguing that LGBT issues is like a Western intervene, but that is totally not the case. I think either Taiwan, Nepal, or Thailand that actually cover, East and Southeast Asia, right? So we all have these countries to say that LGBT is a part of our traditions, our societies, our friends and families.
Places like Thailand and the Philippines have large and vibrant and vocal LGBTQ plus communities. So why is it taking so long for these countries to recognize same-sex marriage?
For the marriage equality law, such a big shift in policy, a stable democratic system is needed. So if the democratic system is not stable or not open enough, it's harder for activists to move forward because it's very difficult to set up the strategy and who they should talk to. So I'm very happy to see Thailand after their election. They worked so hard to deliver and to push their agenda on the table. So I think that also shows that their democracy is become more and more mature. But at the same time, the civil society is what is very important elements here to push the government moving forward.
Can we expect other Asian countries to follow suit in the coming years? If so, which ones?
Yeah, of course, we are very looking forward to Japan can be next one. It's a very interesting situation that Japan is the only G7 countries hasn't passed any like progressive LGBT rights policies. So I hope not only from Taiwan but from Nepal and Thailand can help the Japanese government to understand that this is the right direction.
That was our reporter Reese Ayers speaking with Outright International's Jennifer Liu. The United States is launching an investigation into Chinese semiconductors. The Commerce Department will survey more than 100 companies in January to see how they're using Chinese-made chips. A report finds that Chinese chips are cheaper than U.S.-made ones because of government subsidies. U.S. officials say they're concerned that these cheap chips could make it harder for U.S. companies to compete in the semiconductor market. The world of cryptocurrency has been riddled with high-profile scams and global scrutiny. Taiwan was one of the biggest losers last year when major cryptocurrency exchange FTX collapsed. But as Joyce Tseng reports, some investors here haven't yet folded despite losing almost everything.
Crypto trader Laura Liao is still recovering from the biggest loss of her career. She's the founder of a media and PR agency built around crypto and the tech behind it, blockchain. Her business came crashing down last November when her most important client, FTX, once the second largest cryptocurrency exchanges in the world, collapsed.
现在公司没钱了，我们要解散了。那有跟我们 team member 就是说，嘿，我们就休息，我们就至少我真的想要 stop 一阵子。
Liao is just one of almost 30,000 people in Taiwan hurt by the FTX crash, which wiped billions of US dollars in digital assets around the world. Losses in Taiwan totaled around $500 million, making it the fifth most affected country, excluding tax havens. Crypto traders like Liao know it's a risky business, but for many, the potential gains are too attractive. Essentially, crypto works like stocks. People buy the digital currency hoping it will go up in price so that they can then sell it for a profit. But unlike traditional stocks, crypto trading is all virtual and runs on what's known as blockchain technology. Blockchain boosters say the tech decentralizes systems and skirts bureaucratic delays. Here, instead of a bank keeping track of transactions, people pay directly with virtual cryptocurrencies, which are publicly recorded on a so-called digital block. These transactions can't be erased, and when new ones come in, they're added on to form a chain. All users get this same running chain of information, which gives transactions its validity.
The problem is that many people think that they can make a quick money out of it and run away with it. There's no intermediary running after you or regulation. That is the power of crypto. That itself is a problem with the crypto.
Despite damages to crypto's reputation and Taiwan's own big loss in the FTX scam, some developers have chosen to stick with the underlying tech. Thousands of local and foreign entrepreneurs recently flocked to Taipei, specifically to promote blockchain and its potential.
Yeah, I think our ultimate goal is to bring Taiwan on the international stage for blockchain innovation and technologies. Taiwan is actually a very high volume trading country, even though people don't know about it. There's so much more besides cryptocurrency that is blockchain.
But developers say regulation is needed, and governments, including Taiwan's, are grappling with how to limit bad actors in the space. That's also something Liao hopes for. She hasn't given up on crypto and is restarting her business from scratch, but this time with more caution.
这件事情让我开始思考，假设如果之后真的 crypto 不见了，或是 blockchain 不见了，那我应该要去哪里？
Despite knowing how costly the risks, Liao is still betting on crypto, hoping what she's learned will make what she now builds in the virtual space harder to knock down. Andy Xue, Chris Ma, and Joyce Sun for TaiwanPlus.
Sending a message to smokers in Taiwan, a woman in the northeastern county of Yilan is picking up cigarette butts to do her bit for the environment. Irene Lin has the story.
Picking up one cigarette butt at a time, Jiang Yunqian is raising awareness of cigarette butt littering.
烟蒂里面有一个非常可怕的成分叫做醋酸纤维。那其实烟呢，它除了尼古丁，还有很多有毒的物质。
Jiang has been working to protect the environment for years and regularly participates in beach cleaning events. More recently, she's joined other volunteers cleaning an oil spill that's hit Taiwan's northeastern coast. The land pollution is also an issue she cares about. Jiang's picking up cigarette butts along the entire coast of the northeastern county of Yilan. She's doing it for the environment and her kids. She says she hopes to leave the world clean and safe for future generations. Many passerbys were touched by Jiang's activism and volunteered to help.
觉得就是很厉害，这样子愿意这样子走，对，然后不会这种脏污吧。
Jiang says she often sees cigarette butts tossed on the streets. But this kind of littering doesn't just harm the environment. In most places in Taiwan, it's an offense you can get fined up to $120 for.
如果你没有地方丢，你应该把烟蒂熄灭后自己带一个包包袋子自己带回家。
Jiang is just halfway through her 6-day journey, and she's continuing to inspire people along the way, making it clear that smokers might want to think twice before littering and leaving the public to clean up after them. Klein Wang and Irene Lin for TaiwanPlus.
As tourists flock to Ankor Wat, an increasing number of Cambodian women are making their living as tuk-tuk drivers. But as Bryn Thomas reports, in a male-oriented society, bad weather and worse traffic aren't the only challenges they face.
Meet Rowing Sorfi, or as her passengers call her, Sophie. She's one of a small but growing number of Cambodian women driving tourists in a tuk-tuk in the country's northern city of Siem Reap.
ដោយសារខ្ញុំស្រឡាញ់មុខរបរហ្នឹងហើយព្រោះអីគិតថាមនុស្សស្រីយើងធ្វើបានគ្រប់គ្នាព្រោះការងារហ្នឹងគឺជួយឲ្យខ្ញុំហ្នឹងមានប្រាក់ចំណូលជួយគ្រួសារខ្ញុំដែរអញ្ចឹងហើយណាមួយ
Every day, Sophie zigzags in and out of traffic, dodging potholes and other drivers on her way to Cambodia's legendary Ankor Wat temple complex. But road hazards are just the most obvious of the challenges she faces. Sophie also endures taunts and jeers from Cambodian men, who think women have no place on the roads. Although Cambodia has taken legal steps towards gender equality, it remains a deeply patriarchal society. Women here are expected to run the home and not seek paid work.
ការរើសអើងស្ត្រីនៅស្រុកខ្មែរនៅមានច្រើន
នៅមានច្រើនទីមួយគាត់នៅតែគិតថាស្ត្រីហ្នឹងគឺដៃចង្កូតទន់ខ្សោយហើយស្ត្រីហ្នឹងមិនអាចធ្វើការបានរឹងមាំដូចគេទេនៅមានច្រើន
In a country where the minimum wage is about $200 a month, driving a tuk-tuk can be a decent living. Cambodia receives over 2 million foreign tourists a year, and many of them visit Ankor Wat during their trip. Drivers like Sophie charge tourists around $15 a passenger for tours of the sprawling UNESCO World Heritage Site.
They're drivers that they're really passionate about what they do and that they really enjoy it and feel proud. I feel like you could, especially when all the tuk-tuks were lined up, you could see how they take pride in them.
And while her professionalism has helped her stand out to passengers, Sophie says her work ethic has earned her the respect of her male counterparts.
ចាឥឡូវនេះខ្ញុំទទួលបានជោគជ័យច្រើនណាស់ព្រោះពួកបងបុរសឥឡូវគាត់ដឹងថាខ្ញុំរឹងមាំអញ្ចឹងគាត់ទទួលស្គាល់ខ្ញុំនឹងចូលធីមក្រុមរស់ស៊ីជាមួយពួកគាត់អញ្ចឹងណាហើយគាត់នឹងសរសើរពួកយើងដែលយើងជាស្ត្រីដែលរឹងមាំអាចមកតស៊ូមួយពួកគាត់បានអញ្ចឹង
Sophie is among a growing number of women leading the way in a male-dominated profession. And while she drives tourists for a living, women like her may also help guide Cambodia towards greater gender equality. Alex Chen and Bryn Thomas for TaiwanPlus.
That just about wraps up this edition of TaiwanPlus News. Finally today, we leave you with images of snow falling for the first time this winter on Taipingsan in Taiwan's northeastern Yilan County. Like I said, it's a big deal. I'm Liao. Take care and see you next time.